Hello, welcome to Chai with Nadia, and this is a very special edition because I have got someone very special on the show. I don't even know how to explain her because what title do I give this wonderful lady? A scientist, a Bollywood actress, so many things. And we're going to go through this all in the show because I'm here today with Niharica Raizada.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're
so
welcome.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you for coming on Chai with Nadia.
It's a pleasure.
And thank you. And how have you found the UK?
It's lovely to be back. It's changed. But I must say that it feels good to come back to where my roots were from, in a sense. So it's always nice to come back to where you did your studying. Or, I've got friends here from college. And I think people that you meet during college, when you meet them again, that's also a nostalgia that we miss when we're always working and doing our business and stuff. So it feels like a little bit of a homecoming.
So you've come home.
Yeah.
I love
in
that.
a way.
What about Birmingham?
Well, I actually have a very strong connection with Birmingham. My aunt stays here. So in our family, not many people came out of India. But my aunt, she lives here and she lives in Birmingham of all places. So I'm very lucky that Birmingham also features in my life. I remember when my aunt was here, then my father also came here because of that, their brother, sister. So I was nearly going to stay here or live here. But I guess plans are different.
Kismet, right?
Kismet, absolutely. You don't know where destiny can take you.
Before I actually interview you, I must say you look absolutely stunning.
Thank you. Thank you. Well, I must say thank you to making this outfit for me, and picking it out for me. Because,
you're welcome.
Yeah,
We've
really
got. Lovely. Okay, let's crack on then. I mean, when I was putting your questions together, I am not going to lie, I just thought, where do I start with this remarkable woman? And I mean that from the bottom of my heart. But I will start with something because I'm a scientist as well.
Absolutely. We're very similar.
We are. It was almost like talking to the younger version of me. So this is going to be interesting. But I want to start obviously with Imperial College London. Now you started there in London and you took up a degree course in translational medicine.
Yes.
And I would really like to know the in-depth of, how that journey was, because we know, everyone knows, getting into Imperial is not an easy task. And to stay there, to complete the degree is even amazing.
I got a conditional offer after being rejected by Cambridge, Hull and York, and Edinburgh. So Imperial was my last interview. And I seem to have been prepared by the rest of them. That's why I think I cracked it. But I think my interest in research and the fact that I said that during my interview, that I'm very interested in R&D, and I'm very interested in R&D in especially cardiology and cardiovascular sciences, I think that's what got them. And I knew that at that age. I must have been 17 and a half or 18 when I came to do my interview. So at that age, they saw this fire in me, or this focus in me with regards to research. And Imperial College really is very, it promotes research, and like all very good academic institutions do, they put a lot of focus on curiosity and trying to learn more and be explorative. And Imperial College at that time was trying to also make its medical course more dynamic. They were introducing new courses, translational medicine. It's us who started this course. We were the first ones who were there. And there were 7 of us. And each one has a specialty. So one was in radiology, one was in gastroenterology, one was in oncology, one was on immunology. I was in cardiology. There were just 7 of us.
Love that.
And translational medicine was born from us. It wasn't before that. And
so it was quite a small cohort, wasn't it?
It was a tiny, that was the post-graduation course. But it was a tiny bunch of people. But we started it. We were the pioneers of that course. So, and after that, it went on to become a master's in research, which was really interesting. People added it on to different, undergraduate degrees. But it was the best time of my life. I think Imperial gave me so much. My friends, my education, my humility. I think I always say this because you can be quite arrogant when you end up getting into London and Imperial College and say that, I got into Imperial College and, be quite cocky about it. But Imperial made me humble, the process of it. humbled me.
Yeah.
And it was tough.
Grateful as well that you
I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
Because it wasn't like I passed through with flying colors each time. I failed. I had a lot of struggle in my academics, but I pulled through. And I did well at the end, really well, actually. I got a distinction at the end. But initially, I was not a very good student.
Yeah.
So Imperial taught me how to change my mindset.
Yeah, your thinking, your critical analysis, all those skills.
My critical analysis skills were definitely refined at Imperial. So yeah.
Love that. You went on to Johns Hopkins, as if Imperial wasn't enough. So another renowned university for its research. And again, you went for stem cell research and cardiovascular pulmonary hypertension, which is for lay terms is high blood pressure, right?
Yes.
Tell me about that.
Well, again, as I said, we were very few in number. Yeah. And again, I did something very unique. I wrote 2 theses instead of 1. And I did 1 thesis from Imperial.
Wow.
And 1 thesis from Johns Hopkins. Yeah. I got a really nice hybrid mixture of what it meant to be in a UK institution, academic institution, and a USA academic institution. I was very fortunate that I got a Fulbright scholarship, so it was paid for. And that's why I didn't want to lose the chance. And I'm very fortunate, I think. I think when I had my interview with the Fulbright guys as well, I think they were very impressed with my idea about the future of medicine. That I must say that I've always been a very futuristic thinking person. Like I've always kind of known or had a feeling that this is going to come. Yeah. And whenever I used to speak to my peers or people who were much older than me, they'd always be like, but we discussed this in our own personal forums. How come she's talking about it, being a student? That was what I think got me access or got me entry. Yeah. And that's why I got accorded a Fulbright.
I mean, I think if I interviewed you for a place at a university, I'd be the same because of the forward thinkingness, the eagerness, the ambition, the wider kind of thinking. Yeah. I love that.
So that's what got me through. And then I went to a very different place, very different from London. Yes, I went to Baltimore.
You did, yeah.
And Baltimore is very different. So Johns Hopkins is like the shrine. Yeah. And then I don't know if you've seen this show on the American television called The Wire. It actually showcases life in Baltimore, and it's not an easy life.
Right.
So you have Johns Hopkins and the hospital and the university, and then you have Baltimore. And I remember one of my colleagues got stabbed and died. And that was really tough for us because we were in the same lab. So it wasn't an easy time. So again, it made me grow, because at a young age like that, you can't fathom something like this, so it was tough. It was tough to go through as well, but very fun at the same time. Yeah. Great professors, great mentors.
This is it.
I was doing a thesis in pulmonary arterial hypertension. I was working with pulmonologists, cardiovascular specialists. We were working in stem cells and injecting lots of animals and doing lots of things. So, yes, it was fun. I mean, I remember like the one time I would get a cell to grow, we would all like have a party.
Yes,
we'd keep drawing each other's blood and saying, "I'm going to take your blood today." All our vessels are now like collapsed, and we had no more vessels to like pierce and stuff. What a time!
Yeah,
what a time! Yeah. But I remember, I must say something. When I was pipetting at Johns Hopkins, this is when I knew that I wasn't going to remain in the lab, because I'm someone who's very worldly. And though there's a world in itself in the world of the research lab, I needed to go out and explore, and I knew that. So it was actually in Johns Hopkins that I knew that I'm doing this right now. But after this, once this is over, I'm going to go out of the lab or out of the hospital.
Okay.
That happened at Hopkins. I remember very clearly. I even told my mentor at that time, and she's born on the same day as me, Dr. Roselle Abraham, 18th April. And she knew that I was very passionate in the creative arts. She said that I was a bit of a naughty girl because, she'd be like, "Where are you growing your cells, or are you learning, cinema?" And I said, "I'm doing both." And she was my mentor, but she was also trying to guide me. And she could see that I had this duality to me. But it truly came out at Johns Hopkins.
I love that story. It really tells me so much more about how the, transition happened, which is actually my next question, to be honest with you. Miss India, UK. So that kind of explains how you kind of tell me about that. That was a totally different experience. It's away from the pipettes and the labs. So
Absolutely,
yeah,
it's amongst glitz, glamour,
yeah.
fashion, styling, makeup artists. It's like being just at a fashion show, when they do fashion weeks. So Miss India is like a day in the life of a fashion show.
Right.
You've got a lot of running around, people going crazy, so many contestants, a lot of competition,
Yeah.
a lot of bitchiness as well, I have to say.
Yeah.
It's not easy.
How did you
there.
find that, going from the safety of a lab and research to that environment?
I'm not one to partake much in the fiasco of all of that, but I guess you do get dragged into it. But I'm not actively. I don't like to judge people too much. So yeah, I stay away from all these things. But I mean, it is a world full of that because everybody wants to look the best, be the best, and shine. So that's why you're always a little jealous.
Did you have any regrets?
For which part?
Going from the safety of the kind of research world into the...
No, never. Because like I told you, I was very clear when I was pipetting that I needed to also, I was in the world, the microscopic world, but I said I need to go out into the macroscopic world and I need that.
Yes.
As much as I have spent academically doing this research, and I've sat, now I've sat with research articles, line by line, word by word, going into depth, so leaving that, because I did so much of it, leaving that and then meeting people of the world. I travel now. I've traveled 8 countries in the last 3 weeks. I mean, it's a different world, but it's a different learning curve.
Yes.
They're both learning curves. They're just very different.
I mean, basically you are using your left and right hemisphere, really.
Completely true. And I always say this to people: are you using your potential? Have you reached your potential? We say we use 3 to 4% of our actual brain, potential, and there are certain people who take it that extra bit forward. And to be honest, I used to tell people in the past, everyone's going to do it. You know what I used to say? I used to say everyone's going to have a duality in life. They're going to either be academically, scientifically, super brainy, but then they're going to want to explore the other side. And eventually they're going to have a bit of both. And that balance is now creeping into work. It's coming into academics. It's coming into the entertainment field as well. There are so many people who would want to try out entrepreneurship, go into business. So it's happening all the time. And eventually, in your course of your life, you end up trying out at least 2 things, if not more.
Yeah, they actually say you have 8 careers in your life. Yeah,
I like
changes.
that, isn't it? I mean, this is wonderful.
I think I'm on my 5th, so
I'm on my third. I'm on my third.
Love it.
I like this.
So we're working to the right statistics.
Absolutely.
Love that. You then moved to India in 2013, made the Hindi debut with. Now you have to help me with this. Is it 6 minus 5 equals 2, or is it Chair? Barge.
It's 6 minus 5 equals 2.
Is that? It's a horror movie as well.
Yeah, it was actually modeled upon a film called The Blair Witch Project.
Yes.
Okay, so that was it was a candid guerrilla style shooting of a small video camera, and that's upon which they modeled it.
Yes.
So Blair Witch Project was a very successful film.
It was.
I remember all the kids, what we would call the millennials of our time, would all go and watch it. And this was first made in a language called Kannada from Bangalore. Right. It was shot in Bangalore as well. Made a huge amount of money. So they made it in Hindi. I was a part of the Hindi version. My name was Priya in it. Not many people have asked me about this film, but even today you'll find it on YouTube. And people can watch it, and people really like that film. I have people who are my fans from that Priya role. So that was my debut, and I was shooting in the woods and the palaces of Bangalore. I got to see Karnataka. Excellent. I had a great time.
Love it. Very nice. I've obviously resonate with the movie Blair Witch Project, so I was like,
we tanned a lot. I came back really, really tanned. We spent 30 days in the forest.
Wow.
And at times it was spooky because, it was a scary film. And in the film, one of us keeps disappearing. So, yeah.
Okay, so what's one thing your science background taught you that helps you on film sets today?
I think the critical analysis part. I think the fact that I'm very I can do alternative decision making. You know,
Right.
I don't have a single-minded like answer to everything. I have a very broad outlook. I think that definitely comes from my, you know, when they say the what do you call that in medicine? We give different alternatives, one problem. So I definitely have gained that from science, because we don't look at one thing only one way. So even when we're doing a shot or I'm reading a script, so we're coming up with a whole bunch of other narratives. We're looking at it from completely different lenses. I think that's scientific methodology rather than creative methodology. You know, because creative methodology is more like you shut yourself off. You have Meisner, you have Stanislavski method. You have different methods for art.
Yeah.
I come from a very different background, so I apply that. So,
and when you're applying that, do people understand the application?
Not really, because you have to be also from that similar background. But I don't think that matters.
No,
your process is very personal to each and every actor. And I think there are people who come from backgrounds, like they'll belong to really small regions. They remember their old times, you know, their gaon and their stuff, so they can bring that to the table. I bring this to the table because this is where I belong from, you know. So if I am an Imperial College going actor, that is where I will bring my background to the forefront. If they are a Delhi University background person, they'll bring that. It's as simple as that. You know, it's where you are. Actually, I really feel education matters in that sense. So where you have been educated, and that can be from where you started your education, from your parents' part or your village part or your town part, it really comes out in your personality and your acting. I really believe in this.
So I resonate. I agree totally, because I think being educated can take you in any walk of life and really give you that analysis of life in a different point of view, you know. And it doesn't have to be, you know, talked about. It can just be with you, and that's your respect for yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
I love that. Brilliant. So let's talk about Mercy. Yeah. So that came out in April 2026. Yeah.
Yes, it just came out.
Lovely. And well, basically it deals with a heavy topic, and I was really drawn to this, obviously, again, from my background and your background, passive euthanasia, and you played Gia, didn't you? Tell me a bit about that.
Very difficult film to shoot, because you won't believe that, but everyone on set, except for the director, everyone has gone through it. I've lost my grandmother during COVID, and I've not known what to do, and you know, we had to pull the plug on her. So the story was about somebody has to sign the consent form to, you know, to take someone's life. And when you get given that decision, it's really tough. Like, it can be us, it can be children, anyone can be in that position. So everybody on my set had gone through it. My producer had her father in that situation. I had my grandmother. My hero had his wife's family member. So everyone came from an actual life experience of passive euthanasia. So when we were shooting, every time the scene got too intense, we all broke down. We all cried. When we saw when the mother was in that state, we would all be emotionally in real time thinking about what had happened with us. So it was actually an easy film to shoot from an emotional standpoint, but very difficult to get out of. Because you know, we'd be going into the scene and shooting the film, and then we'd go so deep into it. It was difficult to come back to real life, you know, because our lives are happy and positive, but remembering those scenes was tough. And in our actual lives.
And euthanasia is an ethical dilemma.
It is an ethical dilemma. People still haven't found like a one-stop solution for it. Because it's so you know, subjective. So it's tough. But it did create a stir, because India allowed its first passive euthanasia case in February this year, 2026, Harish Rana case. It was the very first case that India allowed. Parents had fought for their sons.
So that's progress.
It's progress, yes.
Yeah, love it. So if you had to describe Gia in 3 words to someone who hasn't seen the film yet, what would you be?
She was the glue who held the family together. She was the feminine force, you know, who kept everything together. And she's also a mother. So there was this side, she's an expectant mother. So she has this motherly side to her. And you know, there's one where the mother is being lost, and there's one where the mother is being born. So there was
the continuum of life and death.
So you can see that there's one person on one edge and one on the other. So I was becoming a mother, and there he was trying to save his mother. So it was a beautiful Yeah, beautiful, two-sided story.
Yeah, I haven't watched it. I'm not going to lie to you, but I can't wait. Really,
I hope
really
you get
can't
to see
wait.
it.
I do as well.
I think it'll come on some platform.
Okay, I love that you love philosophy.
Oh, I do, yes.
Yeah, and I want you to tell me how it shapes your thoughts on a day-to-day basis.
So I follow Plato, Hippocrates, Aristotle. I also really like all the French philosophers, and I just like thinking about lots of questions, and I always want to find answers, But in philosophy, you just ponder most of the time. You don't truly find an end or something.
Yeah.
But it definitely allows you to also calm yourself. So I think philosophy also comes into play when you're asking deep questions about why me, or why this depression, or why is this wrong, or so then suddenly philosophy also creeps in. It also helps you mentally to stay stable, because you can have a good conversation with yourself, and nowadays you can have a great conversation with your chat GPT if you want to. But yeah, I mean, I like the whole questioning and the curiosity of knowledge. I've always been like that. So yeah.
Yeah. Do you find yourself actually reading philosophy at times of, when you maybe anxiety or stress, or just to calm yourself down?
Absolutely. I put audiobooks on at night. I listen to them. I love them. I love, like I said, I love Aristotle. I love old Greek philosophers. I love Indian philosophers, and then most philosophers are creative and are poets, and they write so well, and they all write from personal experiences.
Yeah, deep thinkers.
Absolutely, but it does stem from a personal experience.
Yes,
I have to tell you that it doesn't stem from just an abstract thought. Someone has gone through something, and which has made them think in that way, which is why they question things. So some people are very socially involved, so they think about it from a demographic social perspective. But most philosophers have personal experiences from which their philosophy comes out, which is phenomenal. I love it.
I totally get that.
If I had another profession, which would be my fourth, I don't mind writing a little bit of philosophy.
I think you know what? I think I'd join you in that. Let's do it.
Yeah,
we might meet each other at one point.
I like it.
Love that. So just going on from that, you call music a gift from your grandfather, don't you, Nayyar? And what's one thing about his philosophy that still guides you today?
I think the generosity. He had love for all, be it the spot boy, the technician, the secondary artist, the primary artist, the hero, the heroine. He definitely had a lot of love to give and a lot of respect to give. And not many people do that. Most people, they like to stay in their strata, never look low or even sometimes higher than where they belong. So he definitely had a much wider perspective on how and what to do for people. He's given songs to secondary, tertiary comedians. People don't usually, music directors in today's times would never make a song for anybody except the main hero and the main heroine. He was somebody who would make comedians famous. Mahmood, Johnny Lee, everybody has become famous because there's been a song picturized on them. He was the first music artist to do that in the Hindi film industry. He's the first in so many ways. He's the first to bring in the jazz, the sensuality. He's the first one to bring that level of rhythm. He's the first one to make that much money on a song. Ask for that kind of a price. He's the first one to do so many things. So when it comes to his philosophies, be with everyone in the same way as you are with yourself and with your family. You don't treat people differently. That's his main philosophy. And second is that talent can come from anywhere. And you must appreciate it. You cannot say talent just comes from this part. It doesn't. So he was one to encourage talent from everywhere. So I believe in that. I think talent can come, because some people who don't have that level of lifestyle, they might not be able to see a certain life, right? So
or potential.
They come from a different background. They may not have enough money to go to universities. They may not have enough money to travel. So how do we know about their talent? So we must allow any form of talent to come through from whichever platform it's coming through, and be open about it.
Yeah.
So that's what his philosophy was.
I
And
love
he
that.
believed in it, he did it.
Yeah.
And I follow in his footsteps in that way, because I've created a production house to support such artists.
That's my next question. You came into
Yeah.
my head. So yeah, the production house, you launched Raizada Entertainment
Yes.
with Ishqbazi, right?
Yes.
As a tribute to him.
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
So I wanted to always do something with kids. I took 47 children, and we shot in a place called Manori, which is in which is off the main Mumbai island.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to take a boat to get there. We shot for 3 days. We shot on Christmas, Boxing Day, and the day after. And we spoiled the kids rotten because we got them Christmas gifts, and they had such a wonderful time. I don't think they will ever forget that Christmas of theirs.
Yeah.
All those 47 children, they were between the ages of 8 and 12. And it was a song about different love at different age points. So love that happens even when you're in kindergarten or young school, you know, you kind of look at each other and you're like attracted. Yeah, love which happens at our age, love which happens at much older age. And that's why Ishqbazi, because ab har baar ishq ki bazi laga rahe, you know, like that was the whole point. We did a huge premiere in Juhu. It was like a film premiere. There was so much media, paparazzi. People thought I had made a film. But it was my first experience. I made lots of mistakes.
Yeah.
And I learned so much because I'm planning to do more production and make things, right? So you need a great team. So it allowed me to truly like experience what production means on ground level.
Yeah. So you dreamed of building a hospital, and now you're building the iconic tech hospital. What pulled you back to healthcare after years? I don't think actually pulled you back. I now know that I think you've just embraced that part of your life, but I'm fascinated. Tell me about it.
I've always wanted to be in medicine, okay? Always. And I don't think there's any better way than to build my first business around that. I've built my business in showbiz as well, but you're still someone who gets given work. Here, I'm going to be actually giving out work. So it's a very big difference. Plus, I also believe that medicine is changing. I think it's becoming more tech-oriented. Plus, I also feel that, you know, Chinese medicine, Indian medicine, and old medicine systems are coming back into play.
Yes.
So Ayurvedic, naturopathic, homeopathic are actually, people are taking onto it. So our hospital is actually a combination of what the radiology modalities that are evolving and changing. So you're doing minimal surgeries, robotic surgeries, you're doing telemedicine. We're incorporating all of that into this hospital, as well as adding on this integrative layer of Ayurveda, naturopathy, homeopathic, allopathic. In addition to allopathic, allopathic will always be the foundation and the fundamental. But we've got so much more.
Yes.
So why not combine the best of all the worlds? That's the point of iconic.
And it's more true in India as well, because I mean it's true everywhere. But in India, you know, the Ayurvedics and, you know, the homeopathies, that there's much more dominance as well when the orthodox ways don't work. So yeah.
But where it's lacking is the standardization of it, right?
Yes.
And the trialing of it,
and the lack of research, the funding behind it. Yeah.
So my background being in research, I want to promote the research approach to medicine, and the research approach to these methods, these other methods, allopathic, Ayurvedic, naturopathic, homeopathic. So we want to make things more standardized.
So even though your hospital is, you know, based around radiology, etc., could you see it growing into maybe even dealing with inequalities of health in India, and perhaps even looking at the number one killer in India, which is coronary heart disease?
So I think a lot of very beautiful brands do it phenomenally well. You've got Fortis, you've got Apollo, you've got so many hospitals doing it. This is a multi-specialty sort of arena. And having a cardiovascular specialized unit is tough to manage, okay, when you're working from a very small hospital the way we're trying to do, because you need a very advanced ICU, you need anesthesiologists, you need a whole multidisciplinary team to handle cardiovascular problems. We want to start small. We want to start treating thyroid, prostate, varicose veins, small tumors, small fibroids, endometriosis. We want to start small. If things, you know, grow, then we will go into neurointerventional and cardio interventional. But for the beginning, we're going to stay to this, because my hospital is a super specialized interventional radiology diagnostic center.
Right.
So it's very specialized in its approach. It's got, I don't want to meddle in too much.
Yeah.
People are doing it very well. Bypass surgeries are happening. But I love the fact that you said inequality in healthcare delivery. We don't want to be in metros. The whole idea is to start a proof of concept in a big city, so we get the word out, but we want to go into tier 2, tier 3, where the healthcare needs are actually required. And that's why we want to build this infrastructure. So Iconic Tech Hospital is not for the metros. It's where the hospitals aren't available. It's for the people who need the access to healthcare, but they don't get it. So that's what we're trying to build.
So you've actually answered my question. So that's
we
amazing.
are trying to go in. We're trying to go in.
And I love that. And I really, really hope this grows for you. It's a great, great thing what you're doing, honestly.
It's required. 1.4 billion people, and you don't have enough hospitals. So, and this is a population where, if the way things are going, the youth are going to need it. So I mean, like, they want to play politics, then they're going to be healthy. They're going to need it to be healthy. So we're going to provide that for them.
Love that. I cannot wait to watch this space. That's the one thing I will be watching your journey on. Love it. We're going to change the topic a bit, because I just want to know this. From John Hopkins to film sets, where did you feel most respected as a woman?
This is a very difficult question to answer. Definitely in the academic world. Definitely. Unfortunately, I wouldn't say that our film industry respects women very much, because women are seen as props, and they are seen as bodies, and they are seen as a body without a mind, to be honest with you. It's very demeaning. It's very hurtful, and at times it's too objectified. But that is the film industry for you. I'm not there to change anything. But ever since Me Too movement has happened, and ever since women have, empowered themselves and found voices for themselves, asking for equal pay, asking for, better roles, things are changing. Women are headlining films. Women are making box office numbers. But somehow or the other, it's a man's world, and somehow or the other, women find it very hard to compete in that. And because it's the man objectifying us, and it's a man's world, it's his power, that speaks. But like I said, there's voices coming out, women who, both East and West, you have so many girls who are like working so hard, doing so well. And, when they become famous and do well, we just need more women to do well.
We do.
That's all. We just need more actresses to do really, really well, and not be supported only by men to get there. They must be respected for their own achievements and their own journey. Then we might be able to actually, stop this phenomena of being belittled.
Yeah, and I don't know about you, but I do see this thing happening globally, where women are talking more on social media platforms, really talking about things that have bothered them for a long time, from generational trauma to all sorts of things. And I think that's women empowering women, and I love that.
Yeah, I mean, but I can't speak it across the board. I've met some really respectful actors, producers, directors, distributors, but then it just comes from their level of education.
Yes.
I think if you look at a woman with a single sort of lens, then it can get it can jeopardize the way you see a woman, so.
Yeah. Okay. What language do you think in?
French.
I didn't expect that.
Yeah.
I don't know what I thought.
What did you think?
I don't know
language?
What I thought. I
have a lot to choose from.
Yeah, maybe English, I thought, actually.
I used to think a lot in English when I was doing my research. But I love French. I can think in French all the time. Like everyone's talking to me, and I think a lot in French.
I love that.
It's my mother tongue.
Yeah.
It's my first language.
Love that.
I had a lot of difficulty in English because of that initially, which is why I didn't pass my exams at times because I was trying to be too lyrical and too philosophical in my exams. I was a little off topic. So which is why the examiner said something's wrong with this girl. Like, you know, I don't know how to explain it, but it was my brain, you know. Then I learned the system. And then I said, okay, if you want it that way, I'll give it to you that way.
They want it factual, they want it black and white.
Really black and white.
No grey.
So yeah.
Okay, so what's your ultimate comfort food? Luxembourg, Mumbai, or hospital canteen food from Hopkins?
Listen, my comfort place is definitely a hospital. I went into an A&E the other day and they said, what are you going to do there? I said, I love it. I love being in a hospital.
I get that.
And you know, they said, but we have to wear masks now. There are measles popping up everywhere. You have to be careful, blah, blah. I said, I still love it. So hospital canteen food, I mean, I can't say it's brilliant. Mumbai has maybe better food. Delhi has the best food.
Comfort food. Those in the hospital is comfort food.
Yeah,
I'll tell you next time, Niharica, you're in Birmingham.
You'll call me to a hospital.
That's where we're going to do our next interview.
No, but I used to tell my employer as well, Dr. Makant Panda, I said, if I really get pissed off by the film industry, just always keep one room available for me in the hospital because I can come there and I can just be there.
Yeah.
You know, because that's my safe
hospital bed in there.
That's my safe place.
It is. It's mine too. I get that. Right. If Chai with Nadia were a movie, what would be the Bollywood storyline?
Well, first of all, we would have to make sure that Chai with Nadia had all the right ingredients. And so I guess you'd have Shah Rukh Khan teaching Nadia how to make chai. And so, you know, can you imagine being like with Shah Rukh Khan giving each ingredient with open arms? That would be quite cool. Yeah, that could be a movie.
Yeah, I will be very happy. And so my children will be very happy.
I don't even know if we talk about masala chai all the time, but does people actually know how to make good masala chai? I don't know. So that could be your main theme.
Okay. I will make hospitals and masala chai.
Yes, the actual correct way. Nadia's way of making masala chai.
Okay, ho gaya. Right. What's one medical research terminology you said on set or with friends and everyone's face went blank? Have you ever done that? Just gone into a different zone?
No, I'm actually, so I speak based on where I am. So if I see that I'm with actors, I'll stick to actor syntax. I won't try to over-impress. But I guess I have used, like, you know, coronary artery bypass graft surgery. Everybody knows that
language.
Or angioplasties, angiographies, you know, arterial ventricular defects. I mean, you know.
Have you got a favourite word? In research is amazing with favourite words. Mine is epistemology.
Epistemology. So I guess epigenetics could be a word that I like. So epistemology is a very lovely word.
Yeah,
it's about the origin of how the word is actually born. So it's really nice.
Love it. What is Niharica like when no one is watching her?
I'm very naughty. I'm a dancer, so you'll always see me moving around, picking up things. You know, my father loves juggling. I like picking up things and dancing with them.
I love it.
I'm a moving baby and a singing baby. You'll see me humming, singing all the time. Like I could be in a shop, I'll hum, sing, dance. People watch me all the time. It doesn't matter.
We're actually gonna be singing in a bit. So hold your horses on that one. Okay, just a couple more questions and we're going to round out. What's one piece of advice you would give your 16-year-old self knowing what you know today?
Read the question, answer the question. Don't go off topic. That would be something I would definitely tell my 16-year-old self. And, you know, tune your listening skills. Everything is in the talk.
It is.
It's in the conversation. Don't think you know it all. Listen. Because the answer is in that. So I was a little bit of a little miss know-it-all. So I told you I humbled. So
love that. And final question. Finally, what advice would you give to the next generation who aspire to follow in your footsteps?
Well, I think that nowadays on social media, everybody's creating content, right? So I feel this Gen Z generation has definitely taken on to being on camera a lot more fluidly than maybe they are less camera shy than maybe millennials were, or even before us, our parents.
Yeah.
So I think that they're already there, you know. I mean, there are way more exhibitionisms than in our time as well. So all I would say is just, you know, make sure that you're also, you think about the future. You know, you said uh, work is going to change, employment is going to change. What's going to matter in the future, I think personally, is things like agriculture or things like new ways of travel, new ways of energy. You got to change your mindset, go into things that are going to be there.
Come out of your comfort zones.
Because traditional subjects are going to get extinct. So just keep yourself more in tune with an evolving and dynamic life situation, and don't think of, because you know we're actually maybe going back also, but going back in a more advanced way. So we're going back to farming, but in more advanced way, you know. So don't think that it's something which is downtrodden. Think of it as something which is actually novel, but you're the one who's going to make it even more brilliant. So that's all.
That. We're going to pause now and we're going to start something just more interesting, more fun. Bear with us.